Okie dokie then, Carl. So, setup-wise, the left-hand one's your before, a little bit narrow, yeah? We want that stance to be a little bit wider, give you a bit more base stability so you can kind of swing and get some speed there when the speed starts dialing up. But the moment now for practice, we're going to dial it back a bit slower, yeah? Which is fine. This is your practice time. We're not going to go to the golf course yet with driver. Stick with what you've got, the irons, 4 or 5 iron off the tee. Keep doing what you know you can do. It's only when you get on the range and you go, actually, I can hit 7 out of 10 of these drivers towards that target. Okay, now I'm going to try and do it on the golf course.
Cause I didn't want to try it because I was swapping too many things.
Exactly. This is your swing. Like I say, with your irons, this swing isn't a problem because you don't need some. I'm not saying you wouldn't need it. You can get away with less turn. That was your backswing there with the driver, yeah? I mean, your shoulders are probably turning about 45 degrees. The arms when you go into there. So you know this club is designed for power. When you put an iron in your hand, your brain says, oh, control. If I want the ball, if you want to hit a 7 iron further, hit a 6 iron. If you want to hit a 6 iron further, hit a 5 iron. Hit a driver further, hit it harder. So when you go back this far with an iron, that's fine. You might lose 10, 15%, but you keep it in play, it's all right.
So it's straight.
When you go with this one, your head now is going to kind of fall up that line there, trying to hit the ball hard from here, think, oh, I want some power. You jump back to it, you throw yourself out of position, you're losing balance, and you stop with the club here, gripping on for dear life. And that, as I say, basically your follow through, stop there. There's no real twist through.
No.
The twisting is just coming through momentum with the body being flung round. You're not actually twisting yourself, really, okay? So if we compare that backswing to where you were there, to this one, okay? That's a backswing. Okay, you're back to target there now. Right. The club's up there now. And I saw that a little bit. There you go. That's your backswing there. So you're making a full shoulder turn, knee moving in, that knee staying flexed, hips are turned, shoulders are turned. Good position, yeah? Now as you come back to the golf ball, it's thinking, okay, I want the ball to go in this direction. I'm going to swing the club in that direction. Not that sometimes does happen because we showed that twisting of the club. Your club would often come back aiming kind of over there, really twisted, which is why you potty gripped it tighter, unfortunately. So because that club is aiming way to the left of target, you go, I know, I'll stop it going left, I'll just swing at it somewhere. And now your club isn't twisting, the balls are just going straight to the right, okay? This is the practice you've got to do in terms of trying to learn what that feels like going left of where you used to go. You have gone left of where you used to go.
You've gone from, where I used to go super right.
Yeah, exactly. You've gone from 70 yards right to 30 yards left, so 30 yards right. So you're still right, but you are left, yeah? But that's got to keep moving in. And to be honest with you, mate, I wouldn't expect it to be going dead straight now because it'd be such a dramatic change. You probably miss the golf ball. So this is where your practice comes in next month or so. Get a bit of time on the range and just keep it some golf balls.
Go straight from here to the range now on the way in.
So again, back into impact there now. If I clear all these squiggles out of the way, you can see your follow through now. Not bad. It's a little bit hunched, but again, in comparison to that movement when you finish like that, that actually resembles some sort of golf shot, This hasn't moved as much, but that will come through with a bit of time and practice. But at least you're now starting to make a fuller swing. And like I say, if you go on the range of the driver, at least you're hitting the golf club out of the middle.
I don't
somewhere from the face,
I won't even take it there.
No. When you're on the golf course,
even in the back.
Just go with the irons. On the range, I would discipline yourself and go and practice with it, okay? Because there's no point thinking, well,
I think the thing is,
I'm rubbish with it.
The thing is, we're like going into winter when you're playing with him, like the iron, like you saw it in the sun, because it'll carry a bit further.
But the thing is, the summer's like this. You land a 7 iron about 100 yards, and it goes back 200.
In winter, it just stops. Like,
you got to
and that's why I need to get something with a bit more flight on it, really.
Mate. And again, if you can get this driver up to, you've got, I mean, in terms of physical strength, you've got the strength in the ball almost 300 yards, believe it or not. Yeah? But controlling that and then getting the ball straight is going to be another thing, okay? So,
can you lift it 300 yards?
Yeah, just about, yeah. And you're bigger and stronger than me, by far, yeah? You could lift and move more weight than I could ever lift, right? But it's, again, technique, club head speed, and movement around that goal swing.
Okay? Well, one mate who's small and fat, he plays, and he can hit it fucking miles.
Yeah, people do. People have got technique.
He's a little dump, like.
There's a lad I give a lesson to, right?
Tiny.
He weighs 35 kilos. He's 13, right? Plays off scratch at about 250, 240. Right? He's a Welsh under 14s champion. But he probably weighs about the same as that 3 would. Okay, I think his golf bag weighed more than it once when he went and played golf. There's so much stuff in it, right? He's a tiny lad. Flexibility like there's no tomorrow, right? But it's an absolute country mile. Pound for pound, probably the longest hitch I know. Now I know a guy who was a massive power lifter. He can deadlift 350 kilos, which I've been told is quite a lot. Sounds a lot to me. Right? I wouldn't even get anywhere near that. If I can do that 20 times over, kind of thing. But he can do this. He's competed, right? He hit to 7 iron 140, 150. He's strong enough to hit the ball almost 200 with the 7-iron, but he's so big and strong. He hasn't got the technique, and it's exactly So you've got to get the body moving, which you are doing there now. And I think when you got this club in your hand that passed that Carl, you were just so scared of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You didn't want to move.
No,
your mindset was like, this is going to be rubbish. I'll do less to be less rubbish.
If you look at it, like I've had that club for, I don't know, 2 years now.
Yeah.
I've barely...
exactly. And the ones you have, you've dipped the top quite a lot. You've been sky, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then I'm trying to adjust the tees and stuff, and it's just, and then I'm trying to adjust the stance.
Pink tee height, as I said, with the one you want to try and use on a driving range. Probably that is a white or a blue one. Probably depends on the colour of their tees they have there. Okay, but pink tee on the golf course, yeah. And just when you're on the range and when you range match with the tees, just get a pink tee and measure which tee is the right height for a pink tee. Yeah, that's what you got to do. There'll only be one that's going to measure anywhere near that. The rest will be really short, really tall, so you'll be fine.
I had to just grab one of them. Literally the only ones I got in my bag of reds because that's all I hit.
Yeah, exactly. And that'd be way too short for a driver. So getting your body to move, obviously you can see there now, okay, making a nice turn. Just make sure when you don't try to turn too much, look at your shadows moving a little bit there. You had some swings where your shadow would disappear off the screen. It was like swaying so far where you were trying to turn too much. So make sure your turn is a turn, not a big sway. Other than that, mate, if you can turn more than the way back, turn on the way through, you can make contact with it, and then learn the feeling of what it feels like to hit the golf ball in that direction. Not try to avoid a ball scuttling over there and think, just swing out this way. And that's what you're going to do. You were making adjustments, weren't you? That's the thing. You make adjustments to that. I say iron-wise, as I said, I don't mind the technique and the method you've got. It's functional. It works. If I'm being honest, it's slightly limited. Yeah, 100%. But not so much that you can't play golf with it. Yeah.
No, it is limited. It's limited how you can hit it, but like over time, I'd rather get it straight, and then like at least I don't hate playing golf. Then,
if I'm being honest, if you work with this with a driver and you practice this technique, part of this swing with the turn and the bigger movement will resonate into your iron swing, which will kind of push the irons up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not changing your iron swing. But by changing your driver, you're just changing your muscle memory.
We'll sort the drive out first, and we'll revisit the irons. The irons work right now, mate. I'm not swapping them.
All right, that makes sense.
Sweet, mate. That's too much.